Well, it's time. Well,
go on.
That time, isn't it?
Yeah. Play the jingle.
Yeah. White van man, Carl.
Brilliant. Recorded at great expense, that jingle.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where we just hijack an idea from The Sun, which is White Van Man, where The Sun asks, in this instance, a cabbie by the look of it. Oh no, a fruit and veg shop owner.
Ours is slightly different because The Sun sort of like, pick on a perfectly normal member of the public.
Exactly.
So that's where we've got the
the upper hand.
Yeah.
And they ask him about the you know, the hot potatoes. This week, Carl, my first question to you, well, your thoughts please on the criticism of the BBC over their coverage of the Queen Mum's death. What do you make of this? You're aware of all the criticism that Peter Sissons asked some probing questions?
No, I thought it was
wore a burgundy tie.
I thought that's it, yeah, he just had it didn't show respect, he just had a burgundy tie on.
See, that's not really not showing respect, is it?
No, it's not.
You know, you show your respect by sort of doing the news on it, giving her a bit of coverage, and showing, you know, what
publicity.
What a good woman she was or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you move on to sport news or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I totally agree.
I don't like the way everything's morbid. I was thinking about it. It's like, you know, the way in birthday cards and that, people always put funny things in them. I think you should save things like that for funerals, for like funeral cards and that, and try and cheer people up at times when they're low. Do you know what I mean? Because on your birthday you're quite happy anyway, so you don't need someone putting a funny comment in a card. I think, you know, when you send a card.
What would you suggest?
Well, you know,
whoopee cushion, but on the vicar's chair. How would you liven up the funeral?
Just little things in the card. I mean, you're just writing stuff like, well, you know, at least you're still alive or whatever.
So as you're giving the eulogy,
that'd be good. So suppose you know, someone's husband's killed in a car crash, you go around with some flowers and a little card, and it says, "At least you're still alive."
Well, maybe something funnier than that.
Well, maybe, like, if you got up to give the eulogy during a funeral, just wear a pair of comedy tits.
Yeah, or those glasses that are eyes on sort of springs.
But why has everyone got to be so sad about someone dying?
No, what annoys me is that when you see the people on television, these sort of members of the public, and they're crying about the Queen Mother, who was sad when anyone dies, sad when anyone nan dies. She was 102, and what, you know, I mean, it's sort of like, I think they should cry.
Well, there's a picture in the paper today.
I don't understand it.
There's a picture in the paper today of various people who were lining the the funeral kind of route yesterday, and there's a picture of a very young child, maybe sort of 5 or 6, on the arms of her dad, and her head bowed, and it says a young girl there weeps for the Queen Mother. And I was looking at it, and you can tell she's just tired.
Well,
she's just tired and bored. It's so transparent that it's not crying. It's
most
just, what are we doing
when their nan dies?
Exactly.
You know, it's sort of like.
But what is a 5-year-old girl gonna be? Why is she gonna be crying? The Queen Mum said, "Oh, I can't believe it."
Yeah.
Teletubbies? No. The Queen Mum. Oh, not the Tweenies. No, it's on in a minute.
Yeah.
It's just like.
Oh dear.
I mean, I know. I'm sure, you know, I don't know much about her. I don't know if she was a great woman, and obviously, you know, it's always sad when someone dies. But it's like, it's interesting that there was a lot of tourists in that long line of people that are now queuing for hours upon hours to see her dying in state. Because it's clearly just people who want to be a part of history.
Must be gutting if you're over from Sweden and you find out that, you know, the Queen Mum's died.
Oh, you must be devastated.
You probably don't want to carry on with your visit.
Exactly.
Really.
Okay, listen, Carl,
I think we've covered that.
what do you make of the, what do you make of the first genetically modified baby?
Oh.
Are you worried about this?
Do you know what did they do? What?
Let me see what it says here. It
Well,
says,
isn't it just choosing the, you know, eye colour?
well, this is the concern, isn't it? That in the future you'll be able to decide whether it's a boy or a girl, how intelligent it is, what it looks like, is it handsome, is it ugly? Obviously, no one will choose an ugly baby, and so on and so on and so on. And so it means that, you know, where will it lead? Where will it end, Carl? Are you concerned?
I've thought about this a lot.
What will us three look like in the future? If they're being, you know, genetically modified beautiful people, what will we be like? How will we be considered in society?
True, yeah. But we've talked about this before, haven't we? About the cloning thing.
Yeah.
That's a bit weird.
Yeah.
But I don't think it matters, because at the end of the day, right, you might look like some other kid, but it's the way you're brought up that will change your features and the way you are, you know, your personality.
If you lie, you get a long nose, don't you?
Well, no, but listen, right, because I remember when we, you know, I was growing up on this estate.
This is gonna be good. Go on.
No, it's not. It's just an example of how this doesn't work.
Go on.
So we don't need to worry, sort of thing.
Sure.
Right?
Okay.
So I'm growing up on this estate, and there was this woman about 4 houses down, right? Who's a bit rough. All right.
Didn't fancy her.
Oh God, no. Right, but she had a baby.
Well, tell me about her first. I'm interested in this woman. Why was she?
It was a very...
So like being a man in a dress.
I mean, I didn't grow up in a posh house or anything, and I'm not saying that if you live in a bit of a rough house, you're a bad person.
What did she look like?
But anyone can clean up.
Looked like Tony Green with a fag on.
They didn't clean up much, right?
Oh.
Which, even if you've not got a lot of money, you can still try and make a place look nice.
Yeah.
Right? But she didn't, and a kid used to take a horse into the house.
Sorry.
Whoa,
Neddy. What do you mean a kid used to take a horse into the house? Where did he get a horse?
Must have nicked it from somewhere. Must have done.
You've seen a horse in it? No.
What, is that from outside the saloon round the corner?
Yeah, was it just tied up with a bit of...
Right?
Oh, that's great. Did Big Jake come looking for it?
I'd been out.
Oh. Sorry, let me get this. This was before the lynching stopped or after.
Where did he get a horse from? What do you mean he must have nicked it? His mum said, where'd you get that from? I bought it. Alright then. But keep it out the kitchen.
I don't want you going Catlin rustling.
Where did he get a horse from, Carl? And how long did he have it for? Was he leading it or riding it? Mum, open the door, I can't stop!
I can't stop it. Open the patio door as well,
Looks like we got us a runaway. What do you mean?
I don't know, but the thing is, they couldn't afford to buy one because they're not cheap. So I'm just guessing. Maybe that's wrong of me. But I think...
He had a horse?
Yeah, right. So
that's why the family didn't have any money, they'd spend it on the horse.
No, I don't think, that's what I'm saying, I don't think they would have bought it. So anyway...
Yeah, it's wise to whisper, Carl, in case they're listening.
Yeah, and
they could be in the room next door.
It's not buying it, it's keeping it as well. Oh,
so I was like in the car with my dad coming into the avenue, and you used to have to drive down it to turn round and and you know, sort of go back to our house.
You had the traditional method of transport.
And the horse was in the lounge
reading a paper,
just like walking around.
Oh God! What?
And when I was doing, I tried to earn myself some money once by flogging little flowers in plastic cups.
What? This is genius. It just keeps coming. What do you mean you're trying to flog little flowers? What do you mean?
Wait. Let's play a record. Let's play a record and come back to this, because the story's going to just unravel and unravel. It's going to go for hours. Let's play a track,
deeper
Carl.
and deeper. It's like an onion, isn't it?
We've created a whole world here where there's a man living with a horse.
Just walking around the lounge.
I come from the West Country, I've never heard anything like that.
I just think of a big sort of like orange carpet and a rediffusion telly and this horse going, I'm fed up in here.
Exactly.
This is really...
I am not taking the rubbish out again.
Yeah.
Right, play a record. Let's have Velvet Underground. We've got that lined up.
Oh,
yeah, the classic from the first album. I'm Waiting for the Man. Let's come back to the horse in a second.
Little flowers in pots. What do you mean? So we were talking. We were doing White Van Man, and we got onto
genetically modified babies. But
and
somehow
then Carl started telling a story about someone with a horse, and then he got onto. He was trying to make money selling flowers. Just do the flowers briefly.
Well, hang on. I just want to recap slightly. So there was a family, and who had the horse in the family?
It was...
Because you lived on an estate in Manchester.
So the mother was a right pig, apparently.
Well,
I don't know whether that's relevant.
You don't need to go that far.
But
what I'm trying to do is, like, make a picture for you so you understand.
What a picture it is. Who did she look like?
Bit of a... and no disrespect to her. Bit like Pauline Quirk.
Quirky, yeah.
Right?
Okay. I knew you were going to say that. Yeah. I knew it was going to be Pauline. Did she have any tats?
I've never got that close to her.
Okay, alright.
So who had the horse? Was this her son or her husband?
No, her daughter.
Her daughter had stolen a horse?
Yeah, from, I don't know where, there was I think there was some stables down the road or something.
And they kept the horse in the house with them?
They kept it in the house.
Did they
didn't have it for long.
No.
So, and you said you were in the house one day and you saw the horse in there?
What happened was, I was, they did this thing at school about raising money for charity, right? For some local charity. And they said you can do anything to raise money, and they came out with all these ideas, and I thought, that's good.
What was the charity?
Well, I don't know, I thought, forget the charity.
Yeah, that's just a good money-making idea. So, you're a charity.
So, so I asked me mum for some, because she used to have a lot of flowers around the house.
Sure.
I said, can I just take some snippings off them? And, I'll go and buy some plastic cups. And, got some soil out of the garden, planted the bits of plants in them.
Yeah.
Got a tray.
Yeah.
Had about 25 plants on it, selling them for 25 pence each.
Excellent. Did you sell any?
Yeah, so loads.
So did you just cut, you didn't just cut them and stick them in the soil?
Yeah, they wouldn't have survived.
Oh.
But I think people sort of thought, well, good on him for trying. But anyway, so I went round to theirs, because I thought their house could do with a bit of colour and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a bit rough. So as I went
The horse went, thank God for that breakfast. They've been feeding me kitty cat.
So I got up to the door, and they opened the door, and it was one of them houses where no carpet.
Yeah, a horse in the living room.
You know.
We've all been there.
And the horse was walking around the living room.
Oh.
I looked quite happy and everything, because I always say that about animals.
Black Beauty
right?
was on. Yeah.
Well, think about it, right? If you were a horse, where would you rather be? In a little wooden hut with a load of hay? Or in, like, a house with a,
Central heating.
three-piece suite and
Sure.
a telly and that?
Telling you that!
No, but I was saying this the other day,
And an Atari.
right? I was walking through London the
Commodore
other day.
64,
Yeah.
rubbish.
Exactly.
Walking through London with Suzanne, right?
Yeah.
And you know, like homeless people always have dogs. And
Yeah.
she said, "Oh, I hope she looks after it." I said, that dog is happier than most dogs.
Right.
Because people always walk past and give it a pat on the head.
Yeah.
It's with its owner all the time.
Yeah.
It's out in the open, it's not locked up in a house.
Yeah.
It doesn't
You know what I
eat,
mean?
but other than that.
No, it does eat though, they're always alright. So that's what I was saying, I think this horse was doing alright for itself. Do you know what I mean?
Well, not many horses have got their own house.
Exactly.
For a start, yeah.
But anyway, that's
That's
what
by
we
the
were talking
by.
about. Yeah, so anyway, this family, who's a bit, what we were talking about, it was about cloning.
Genetically modified kids
Yeah.
and all that
Yeah.
stuff, yeah.
Right, now what I'm saying is, you could say, you know, right, Steve, you could have a baby, right? And Ricky could see it and say, God, I want one that looks like that,
Yeah.
right?
It could happen, Rick.
So,
Come on, work with him.
so you take it to the doctors, and I don't know what they do, they inject it with something or whatever,
Yep, that's how it's done.
Yeah.
and get a little baby, and there it is, it looks the same. Now the thing is, you separate, you both go off and do your own things,
Yep.
right? Now, you look at Stephen, you look after your baby,
Yeah.
you treat it well, you give it good food and
I'm
that,
a good dad.
all the vitamins and stuff.
Yeah.
Ricky just gives it cheese. Right? So then it changes its looks, it goes a bit fat, you know, it gets tired easily, and that sort of thing. Now, when this family...
Why am I just feeding a baby cheese?
Right? This family had a horse in their house.
Yeah.
They had a little baby. And my mum went round and said, "You're not gonna believe this, but it's a beautiful looking baby." Right?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you know. And the weird thing is, it was a good-looking kid, but as time went on, they didn't really look after it. And I'm not saying, like, abusing it, but it used to run around, it used to play out till, like, 10 at night.
Yeah.
It used to chase cars.
Right.
It was a bit...
Did it have hooves?
Yeah, no. Chase cars!
Right?
What sort of kid chases cars? Oh, God.
No.
Was it called Rover?
The weird
Did it catch sticks?
It's Liam, it was called, right?
Right.
Now, the weird thing is, it was a good-looking kid, but as time went on, and all that, like, not eating properly and its hair was all patchy...
It's not Liam Gallagher, is it?
and chasing cars and that, and it became an ugly kid.
It's definitely Liam Gallagher.
And that's what I'm saying, right? You can clone all you like, but at the end of the day, it's
Yeah.
how you brought up.
Brilliant.
Wow.
Whoa.
Life.
Wow.
That was a hell of a point.
Oh, God.
But am I right?
You're always right, Carl.
Finally, White Van Man, what do you make of the fact that Sainsbury's are bringing in square tins?
Is that
a concern for you?
Is that true?
Apparently so.
Why?
Don't
It's
know.
like it's easy to stack.
This is what the guy in the Sun has said. That should be interesting for... that should be... His comment on Sainsbury's are bringing in square tins is that should be interesting for meatballs. Ricky's just collapsed on the floor. Let's just play a song, Carl. I don't think even you can top that.
See that in Heat this week?
What was it?
About the campaign to stop Carl going back to Manchester. You know, because he's a miserable sort of northerner who goes, London's crap and I want to go back up north.
Yeah.
And I only need £40 a week to live up there like king and all that sort of
Yes.
rubbish. Right, well, Boyd from Heat, well, we met him at the, that award ceremony.
Oh, yeah.
And, we were saying about, oh yeah, he really enjoys Carl. Like, he's getting a lot of people
people love
like
him, people
Carl.
love him.
And I was going, oh yeah, but he's thinking of leaving. He was going, oh, start a campaign. And he did, and he put it in there. So the campaign, so write in if you like Carl. If you think he's really annoying, then we'll stop talking to him.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like him.
I love him.
Yeah.
Have you ever read the the White Van Man column in The Sun, Carl?
Seen it,
Are you
yeah.
familiar with this? This is where every day in The Sun they interview a guy who drives a white van, just, you know, in order to get the kind of voice of the man on the street in the paper. And he has to answer, or just give his opinions, really, on events that have made the news each week. Just thought we could maybe throw some of these at you, Carl.
Go on.
Because we know to see what your views are.
Yeah.
So, just the first thing that comes into your mind, the sort of, your initial reaction to each
It's
of
just
these.
top all these, but you don't need to know about them, it's just your philosophy on it,
Yeah,
so...
just your views.
You know, yeah.
I have had a few days off this week, remember, so I don't know what's going on in the world.
Yeah, I mean, you stayed in London, though, didn't you?
Yeah,
You didn't bury yourself, did you?
I normally see the news, but I didn't this week.
Okay. So, what was your view on Will Young beating Gareth Gates in the final of Pop Idol?
Don't like him. You know what I was thinking about when I was watching it all the way through?
Yeah.
How he looks like he's got a wire coat hanger in his gob. That sort of...
Right.
Get his radio, Carl.
Radio.
It's a great
The
face.
funny face you're pulling doesn't
Yeah,
translate.
and, you know, but, you know, a radio.
And that's a problem for you, is it?
And just the way he's from a really rich family. I opened up the paper on the Monday or something, and it had like how he went to a posh school and he's got loads of money already.
Yeah.
It's just a bit...
Key. Right, now, what's the second
All right.
question?
There have been huge rises in street crime, especially muggings and carjackings. What's your view there?
More youth clubs are needed, aren't there?
You think more youth clubs?
I like that.
No? Okay.
I like that because it's so 1950s.
Yeah,
it's sort of like you want a Bobby on the beat that'll clip
Yeah.
you around the ear.
So once they've come
Is
out of
it-
national service...
Yeah, no, I love that. And if you find someone smoking a wood bomb, you make them smoke 50.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, this is great. That is great.
Did you used to go to youth clubs?
Yeah.
And they kept you out of trouble?
You used to get into a fight afterwards when
Sure.
you came out.
But for the sort of hour and a half you were
You
there?
had a bit of pool and some boxing and
Yeah.
a bit of pop.
Yeah.
So more youth clubs, that's good.
I love him. I love him. If you're at home, just make notes because this is brilliant stuff. Honestly, you won't hear more honest, from the heart
Exactly,
stuff
opinions.
than this. This is great. Go on.
This is not pre-planned, these are your direct responses now. as you hear these.
I promise you, Carl did not know what we were going to do. He never knows what we're going to do, and he always answers honestly. That is the beauty of Carl.
What is
it's
your
not
view-
an act.
What is your view, Carl, on New York's former mayor becoming Sir Rudy Giuliani? Sir Rudy Giuliani.
Is he happy with it?
He appears to be pleased with it.
Let it go ahead.
Fair enough. then. Okay.
Go ahead. Oh, he's genius.
Okay.
Is he happy with it? He's like your nan.
Yeah, yeah.
Is-
What do you make of Michael Greco's character Beppe being axed from EastEnders? Problem for you?
The whole soap thing. What's it's back in Coronation Street, isn't she? What's her name?
Who? Bet.
Lynn's. She
yeah.
thought she'd go off and be a bigger star.
Yeah.
All went wrong, and now she's coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always happens, doesn't it?
Beppy will be back.
Yeah.
No one really cares.
Sure, sure.
What
And the
was,
final
what was the
one.
van reply? What was the guy?
The White Van Man says, obviously they feel the character has run his course, but I think he's a pretty good actor and I can't understand why. So, I mean, obviously there's a White Van Man there who's also got an opinion on script
The
development.
through line, yeah.
Like the narrative
The-
through line of soap opera.
The 12-week narrative, the arc really shows
There's
itself up.
the two last ones I want your opinion on here. What do you make of a cat that's been cloned in a secret 2.5 million research project?
To find out what?
If
What,
they
to
can
clone
clone
it?
cats, yeah.
Have they had to hurt it?
Sorry?
Have they had to sort of hurt it to do that?
Have they had to hurt it?
Yeah, or is it just scraping its tongue for some stuff?
I
No.
think the cat's fine. The point is that they're cloning another creature which is potentially very dangerous. Have you seen that film where they bring Hitler back?
That cat, what if that cat turned out to be a world dictator?
Exactly. What do you reckon of
No.
cloning generally, Carl? You concerned about it?
Well, I think they're cloning for organs,
I
you know,
don't
they just grow them for the, you know.
Do you know what cloning means?
Yeah, it's when you like make something else that's the same, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah, I mean it's not going to do any harm.
Okay. And,
Great.
and finally...
Let's do on the World Council.
Yeah, yeah. Finally, what do you make of some city workers who were caught bonking in the glass lifts of the Lloyd's building?
What do I make of it?
Yeah. Is that a problem for you? Do you think that's unprofessional?
Was it the lunch break or?
I think it was lunch break.
It was their own.
All right.
It's their own time, I think, fair enough. It only takes 45 seconds to go from the bottom to the top. Is that a problem? They moved quickly. They acted, you know, on instinct. You think fair enough? If that's their natural instincts and they're both consenting, you think fine?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks very much, Carl.
There's little Carl over there. Steve, it's time for...
White Van Karl. We should definitely get some jingles. I think the show sort of lacks jingles, I think.
Yeah.
Noises.
Yeah.
Funny sound effects.
Yeah.
Well, that's it.
Wow. Yeah. What's
Go on.
Mr. Nosy Neighbour interested in? Hello? What's going on here? Oh, we should definitely get some pre-recorded comedy noises, Carl.
Yeah.
for next
Yeah, well,
week.
that's my job, but unfortunately I'm busy reading about Hitler.
For those that don't know and aren't familiar with this feature, basically The Sun runs a White Van Man column where it asks just people who, you know, every men and women, their views on news stories from the week, and we decided we'd just ask Carl his opinion on some of the same issues. This week...
Not like us to rip off another idea and just use it for our own...
No,
but this time...
The White Van Man in The Sun this week is Herbie Crossman from Harrow in Middlesex.
Herbie.
And he's asked his opinion, Carl, and what's yours, on pop idol Will Young admitting he is gay. Come on, Carl.
I don't understand what the big deal is, to be honest.
Okay. No.
Talking to different people about it, and they've said, oh, it could affect the sales, you know, girls won't like him anymore, which I think is rubbish.
Yeah, because it finished George Michael's career, didn't it?
Well, yeah, and I was thinking when I was growing up, right?
And Freddie Mercury.
I was into, Kim Wilde, right?
Sure.
Now...
And her kids.
You're not going to tell me she's gay, are you?
No, but if she was, if they said, oh, she's, you know, a leather.
Yeah.
Right? I wouldn't say, right, that's it, I'm taking kids in America back to the shop, I'm disgusted.
Sure.
I liked her.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ever gonna, like, meet her and marry her and that, so what does it matter?
Yeah.
Will Young, he's a good voice, he's gay, you know, a lot of gay people in the world.
Georgie boy was gay, I guess.
There you go.
Nothing more and nothing less. The kindest guy I ever knew.
So
Do you Bowie?
No big deal.
That's one of your favourite songs, isn't it?
Brilliant.
Killing of Georgie Parts 1 and 2, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you make of the police protesting to Parliament over reforms?
That's not the band. Before you say.
Right, what's all that about?
Okay, well the police have had various kind of gripes and grumbles which they've taken to Parliament, try and get them sorted.
Like what?
Well, it could take ages, basically.
They don't like the pointy helmets anymore.
Yeah.
They want flat caps.
They feel that their powers are restricted, they get a lot of bad press, they're not being paid well, they're under-resourced.
They actually demonstrated, didn't they, outside?
I think they may have done, yeah.
Well, at least they're doing something about it instead of just sitting there moaning. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They're going to the top, trying to sort it out.
Yeah.
I admire that.
Yep.
What do you make of the police generally? Are they doing a good job?
They've woke me up a couple of times at about 4 in the morning when I was a kid.
Right, was that because they were looking for your brother in his tank?
Yeah! Did a Sherman tank just come through here?
Yeah.
No, my mates nicked cars and gave my name and all that.
Right. Were they friends of yours? Right.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you make of fears that dumped Britney Spears, she's been dumped by her boyfriend, there's worries that she may be cracking up, Carl? You concerned?
What are the signs?
Well, I'm not entirely sure, I'm just reading from this section, but I would assume that she's obviously showed signs of depression, maybe?
She'll be alright. I remember, like, you know, Zoe Harris, when she sort of got bored of me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Get over it, I don't even think about her now.
What, and how long did it take you to get over Zoe?
Zoe Harris!
How long did it take
To be honest, right, it was like one of my first girlfriends, and she was a pain. I remember I went out with her because she wouldn't stop hassling me, right?
Yeah.
I remember...
Good reason to fall in love with her.
Oh, go on then.
I never talked to her, and then the bit that really got me, I thought I half liked her, and then I remember, right, we were at a school party, sort of infant school.
Infant school?
Right.
Are you sure it wasn't junior school?
Well, it's on the cusp.
Yeah.
Right, when you're about to leave infants and go to the next one.
Yeah.
And, she was crying because...
You were saying, I don't think we should move in together.
She was crying.
She was crying.
Oh, was she?
Had you stolen her milk?
She must have been nearly 6. Why didn't she grow up?
No, she was crying because somebody had stood on a dress and put a bit of an hole in it. And I said, oh, for God's sake.
I can't stand it. Oh,
so
God. I just think him.
So you gave her a slap?
I just think of him, he's like 6, like with clogs and a flat cap, going slightly bald, going, for Christ's sake, woman, come on. Oh,
light my pipe.
Oh.
That finished it because all the mates were saying, come on, Carl, she's upset. And I was like, oh, whatever. So I saw her again.
Hold on, though. Wait a minute. What do you mean all the mates were saying, look, come on, Carl? They were 6, weren't they?
Yeah, but they were saying, come on, she's crying. Help her out.
And you did nothing?
I
got injured. Got a hole in her skirt.
Yeah, but she was upset and you were her boyfriend.
Well...
So what did you do? Tell me the story. Where were you?
Didn't work out.
You were at some kind of school do. There was a hole in her
That's why
dress.
it didn't work out, he said.
Do you treat your current girlfriend in the same way? This callous disregard for someone's feelings?
His current girlfriend does not tread on her dress. Does she?
Huh.
Oh, she didn't.
So, as far as you're concerned, what was her name? Sarah?
Zoe.
Zoe Harris. She just felt like, well, you know, if she's gonna make a whinge about, you know, a silly little hole, screw her.
Yeah.
You're all heart, Carl.
What would you have done?
I'd have gone over there and given her a lovely kiss.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
We were playing Dead Arm. In the corner.
Ask him another question.
Okay, very final, thought then. What do you say to the fact that a judge has decided that we, the general public, have a right to know about stars' flings? Basically, this is an excuse. This is basically saying, should papers be allowed to print tittle-tattle about celebrities?
Oh, this is...
providing it's proven true.
Oh, this is something about, isn't it, a Division 1 football or something? It's definitely out of Premiership football, it's unfair. And it is true, but he's trying to keep privacy, and the judge said, well, it's not for us to censor the press over things that are true.
Right.
It's up to the general public to either boycott or not, you know, that publication.
What do you think, Carl? What about all this, you know, exposing, going through the, you know, the bins of celebrities?
It's not right, is it? But
No.
people are interested in it and buy the papers to read it. Do you know what I mean? I mean, like I said to you the other week, everyone has a go at Beckham for not being that bright. But at the end of the day, he's a good footballer. It doesn't really matter what goes on off the pitch, does it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
but what if you were a celebrity and they sort of splashed over the front page the fact that you just, you know, didn't care less for Zoe Harris
Yeah.
and her torn dress?
Zoe Harris is still upset.
Yeah, they dug her out, you know. The night Karl Pilkington reduced me to tears.
Nah, I haven't done anything that bad.
Sure.
I won't be worried.
Did you win the dead arm contest?
No. I was thinking about that the other day. Do you think there's a chance I could get blood clots in later life?
Did you play that a lot?
Yeah, a hell of a lot.
Do you ever do it, but like kind of headbutting?
No.
Okay. Because that would have explained something.
Dead arms.
Sure.
Any more?
No, that's it, Carl.
It was with people's blessing, was it? You had to give them a go?
Yeah.
And you played it with girls?
No.
Alright.
Oh, my mates.
Right.
So you were playing dead arms while she was off dancing and getting her hole ruined?
Yeah.
You romantic, you.
That's great. And you haven't changed a bit, have you? You still do that to this day, don't you? At functions and events. Okay, we just do White Van Carl then. This is your opinions. You can't be wrong on this, can you?
There's no right or wrong answer here. Okay.
Right.
But so this is where we ask Carl his views on the big news stories of the week. Basically, we've stolen an idea from the Sun newspaper, and
so this isn't cruel, this programme, is it?
Oh, I don't think so.
Picking on me.
It's not, is it?
It's weird because a few people have said, "Oh, you're picking on me." It depends how you look at things, isn't it?
Yeah, but you do you like it?
I mean, we could look at it like it's a laugh, so it's not a problem for us.
You know, we like you. You know, you're our favourite.
Yeah.
I'm going to say thing in the world, but I don't mean that. You know, in a derogatory way.
No, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So your views, please, on the fact that attitudes are changing to the possible marriage of Charles and Camilla.
Oh, what do you think of that?
The roars at the moment, because the recent tragedies are apparently high in the polls, and people are coming around to the idea of Charles and Camilla getting hitched. What's your thought?
Whatever, really. I mean, if they're happy with it. The thing that comes out of it most is it just goes to show, right, that there is someone for everyone. Just because, I mean, no disrespect to Camilla, I'm not a good-looking person either. But she isn't a stunner, and yet she's gone and picked up a royal. Right?
Yeah.
So I think it's good for things like that to happen, because it cheers you up. Do you know what I mean? Gives you a bit of hope.
Thanks, Carl.
So yeah, it's good. You know, if they're happy. If anyone's happy, it's a good story, innit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, he's had a bit of bad luck. And now he's got someone else in his life, so...
while he's doing this, I'm just doing a list of questions to ask him what he thinks of things in the world.
Okay.
Is that alright?
Yeah, no problem.
No problem.
Okay, what do you, make of... Well, now listen, this may be a non-story, or it may be the biggest story that's about to break. Ulrika Johnson and Sven-Goran Eriksson's affair. Are you familiar with this? It's over the papers today. Apparently, Ulrika and Sven are going out, although there appears to be no evidence for this.
Yeah, I don't even give it time of day.
Do you not?
Right, well done.
Doesn't affect me whatsoever, as long as he does his job well.
Yep.
And what's she doing at the moment?
Presenting Dog Eat Dog, I think.
Like, you know...
As long as she does her job well.
As long as they both do their jobs well.
Well, yeah, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
that's going on with a lot of people out in the world, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Just because he's an England boss, as long as, you know, we win the games and that, he's doing his job. If she's, you know, gets a dog winning a prize or whatever...
No, okay. It's not worth it. Carry on.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So...
Dog winning a
I
prize.
haven't seen Dog Eat Dog. What's it
Okay,
about?
it's alright, it's,
Right,
no, go on.
so that's it, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay, what about this then? Are you disappointed by the nation that a third of us are apparently unaware of St. George's Day?
23rd.
Is St. George's Day the one with the snakes that we've talked about?
No, that's...
Are you one of that third, do you think?
St. George is the patron of England who, killed the dragon.
Yeah, I mean, there's too many of these days, isn't there? That's the problem. If you make it a bit more special, like Christmas, so you buy presents and that for each other, then people will remember it. But there's so many these days, with Easter and Pancake Tuesday and all that. So, it's not surprising. I think as time goes on, we'll find that a lot of these days will just disappear, because, you know, people are busy.
There'll be new ones, won't there?
I don't know, people
There'll
are
be
that
like
busy.
Gareth Gates Day in 50 years' time.
It's just weird. I mean, I remember being a kid, right? Going out on a Sunday and shops would be shut. Because it was like, you know, the day of rest and all that. People don't care now. It's like, well, we can make some more money, we'll open the shops.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's
Is that a
all
good or a
about-
bad thing, Carl?
It's good, because I remember I used to have to get up early to go and get some bread if we didn't have any in. Because the shop would only be open for a couple of hours in the morning.
Yeah.
Whereas now I'd be able to...
Yeah, I
rely
remember
on-
that. I remember that. Shops, and you couldn't get aspirin and stuff,
Exactly.
certain things,
Nightmare on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah,
So-
that's right, yeah. And pubs didn't open till 12.
Do you remember space operas?
Yeah. Yeah, shut up. Can I ask you something?
Go on.
Okay, I've got a little list of things. What do you think of, like, those pug dogs that are bred and they can hardly breathe?
Evil.
Yeah. What do you think of, gays?
They're alright. Do you know what I mean? Just like straight people, you get bad ones, you get good ones.
Exactly.
Eh?
We've learnt a lesson today, haven't we?
Absolutely.
Let's play a record.
Yeah? What do you fancy? Bit of Radiohead?
Yeah.
You don't mind, though, if people think we're gay, for instance, when we go to the BAFTAs
No,
tomorrow?
that's terrible. I don't want that happening.
Why?
Eh?
Why?
Because I'm not. That'd be a lie. I don't like lying. If I was, I'd say I was gay,
Yeah.
but I'm not.
We'll say you were, just pretend.
We won't get in otherwise.
No.
Just a little kiss and a cuddle.
Say I'm a bit gay.
No. I'm not gay.